Okay, so starting this off, the things that you guys are gonna do before you're allowed to do watercolor paint is pass the watercolor technique assignment, which is what I'm gonna show you right now. Try not to shake the table. Okay, so you're gonna have 4 boxes, and I'm gonna give you the size requirements in a minute. And they're not gonna touch, because if they touch, then the water will move towards each other, because watercolor paint travels to and with water. So if you have water in this box touching water in that box, then they're gonna mix together. So we don't wanna do that unless it's part of the assignment, which it is not for this one. Don't touch the table. So I'm gonna draw these boxes, and then I'm gonna give you the requirements to draw these boxes as well. We have those ones. And then we have this one.
So is this watercolor?
No, sir, it's not watercolor. All right, so you have 4 boxes at the top. The top ones are going to be flat wash. You should write this down because I'm writing it down. Flat wash, gradient, wet, in, wet, blended, bleed, and wax resist. All right, the next thing I need. Great, cool. So I don't like these paints as much as the ones that you squeeze out, but I have a feeling that those will be too complicated. So I'm gonna have you guys use these ones. With watercolor paint, you're gonna use a soft bristle brush. What kind of brush? Soft bristle brush. So to load the brushes in the paint, you dip your brush into your water, and then you pick a color, and then you hydrate it. And you don't really do much to your brush and the water, or into the paint. You just kind of dip the water, drop it on. Dip the water, drop it on. You're gonna hydrate it first. Then after you have 5 or 6 drops, then you can start getting your water.
What and what?
This is the first one, is called flat wash. So for a flat wash, you start at the top. Normally you'd have a bigger, juicier brush, so you'd have a solid drop to, it's called laying a bead, and it's literally a bead, a bubble. You can kind of see it. And then you're gonna flat wash back and forth. And then is that drying out? Does that look good? Does that look the same?
No.
No. So you dip your water, more paint. Then you keep going. And you try to stay in your lines. Oh, my brush is drying out because I can see that my white paper is coming back through. Mm-hmm. Water, paint. Now this isn't really that even, right? Mm-hmm. And the name of this box is called flat wash. This is not even. So I'm gonna dip my brush in my water, and I do a little dab, but I get fresh water, and then I go back and forth again. Normally if you have a little bit better watercolor paint, it'll be smoother. But do you see how this is I go over, down, over, down, over, down, over, down, over, down,
Kind of
over, down. Like
I
that.
see the alien from Defender.
Yep, do you guys see how it's even?
Yeah.
So just to show you what I'm actually doing, it's not like a zigzag, it's like this. It's like a box pattern. That's how you get a flat wash. So if you're ever trying to have your paper or your project to have flat color, there's different types of times that you need different textures and styles. If you need it to be completely flat, it's gonna be like this. If you need it to be a gradient, it's gonna be light to dark or dark to light. So you know what you need based on your reference image, based on your sketch, based on whatever's in your head. These techniques aren't right or wrong, they're just things that you can use to make your project do what you want. Mm-hmm. You wanna make sure that when you guys are using your water cups, you're using the clear water cup so you can see. If your water is not, if you can't see through your water, it's time to change your water.
Which one? What
So-
color did you use for that? Purple? Like what one
No,
of
it's
these?
green.
The one that's wet?
Oh, you used green for that?
No. The
Why
other
would
one
you
that's
say
wet?
that, Ryan?
Because it's obviously
It's
purple.
obvious.
But I know, but is it that one or that
It's the one that's more wet. So, did you see how I did 5 drops of water into my green before I started mixing it? How many drops of water did I put into my color before I started mixing it? 5. And then I am getting this wet and mixed. Now I can grab it and do my first drop, and I go back and forth. It's already drying up. Water, then paint. Water, then paint.